A high-angle camera shot is a cinematic technique in which the camera is placed at an angle high above and looking down on a character. Also known as a bird's eye view, this type of shot can be used to convey vulnerability or fear in a character. This is why a high-angle shot is perfect to show our character tied to the chair. High-angle shots have been used in many movies and are seen multiple times throughout the Harry Potter series. We recorded this high-angle shot by having a group member, Dan, stand on top of a table with a handheld iPhone X camera. He panned across the room with our character in the center of the screen.
A close-up shot is a photograph taken at close range or with a long focal-length lens on a relatively large scale. It essentially is able to permit a close and detailed view of an object or action. In our project, we used the close-up shot on a person being held hostage in a remote location, awaiting for his kidnapper to come to see what's going to happen to him. The cameraman walked around the hostage to show that he's tied up, blindfolded, alone, waiting for his kidnapper. The close-up shot also adds intensity to the scene because it has the viewer's focus on one specific thing.
So the next type of film technique that we used is called cutting on action, or otherwise known as cross-cutting. And it is the technique of cutting between two scenes or sequences that are occurring at the same time but in different locations. So in other words, we're cutting from one shot to another view that matches the first shot's action. So the first shot that we see in our movie was a group member, Sam, walking out of the elevator and about to open the door, and the cut takes place, and then we see Sam from inside the door, inside of the room where the kidnapping will take place. In the films we watched in class, we see cutting on action shots in every film, such as Yojimbo, The Breathless, and The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. We also see a zoom-in shot in The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which adds an emphasis to the main characters like Josh said before. We see it in the scene where the people are fighting, and every time they shoot, they zoom in on their face to add an emphasis on how drastic this scene is. The equipment we used for our film was very basic. First and foremost, we used a handheld camera, specifically that of the iPhone X. Next, for lighting, we just used the standard lights in a Dickinson study room. We tested multiple levels of the lights and decided to have all the lights on because we figured that would maximize visibility for the scene. To achieve our high-angle shot, I stood on top of the table and held the camera above my head in order to capture a high angle of Josh. Once again, just as a recap, the use of our high-angle shot of the victim shows that he's powerless in this situation and shows weakness in our character. The close-up shows the importance of our character by making him the center of attention, while the cutting on action is great for creating seamless transition in between the scene where group member Sam enters through the door.